Yeah, I think it's important, and when we look at the city of Charleston from that time period, we're not saying that everyone lived on the Battery because that was not possible, but there were other folks that lived there that they had a contribution to life in the processing of Charleston. And again, they were affected by the impending war because perhaps they joined the military or they were conscripted or they left. And now, who is going to manage their affairs? If the baker leaves, who's going to bake the bread? We know historically that on some occasions, some people of African American descent, became more leaders in tending to the needs of these shops. And so that's an ironic thing. And I must also throw out in this conversation of who was downtown, there was a substantial, large, free black population that was downtown. And so they're kind of in this symbiotic relationship, with the class of social elite and providing services to them. They're in the middle of interacting, with the common folk of downtown Charleston. And then they have a relationship where they're interacting at different times with those who were enslaved. You have to know your place. And that's probably the best way to describe with the complication. Place means everything. We know historically, but let's start with the enslaved African Americans here. They had some freedom or ability to traverse the city, but in certain hours they were not allowed to be in certain places. Because of the fear of insurrection, they had to have papers, documentation, tags with them to demonstrate who they were and why they were out where they were located. So that's one dynamics. Even though you were, quote, a free black, you still need documentation for that because you could be mistaken for a person that was not free. And then, those of the aristocratic society, their place, as they may have more of a freer reign in traversing the area, but yet they understood that perhaps certain times of the day or certain locations they perhaps didn't want to be there because they could put themselves in harm's way. So you had a city with this dynamic, but that all folks were needed to make it work. If you step back and look at the picture of Charleston, now you have this aristocratic society. You have those common folk or regular folks working class folks that are there. You have the enslaved African Americans that are there, and then you have this free black population, all within this small area of Charleston.